hung around and stuff. This is a 18 volt lithium. I think it's a 6 amp hour battery pack for this. Actually fits Ryobi power tools. Ryobi has an 18 volt set of tools that are battery operated. I think they also have now a 40 volt series. This is one of the old 18, and I like taking things apart. This one's bad. There is on the front here a button which will show you the status of the charge, and they are currently all lit, and that works great, except when you plug it into a anything like a set of clippers or a flashlight even. It drains down within less than a minute. You plug it in the charger and it says it's fully charged. You plug it into your device and hit that, it says it's good, and then it dies within a minute. Okay, so this one was dead, and I have never taken one apart, so I thought I would see what it looks like on the inside. And first thing of note, you can tell, is it has battery cells, which look like that. And they look like the typical, like double A's or A's or whatever they're called, batteries, but they're lithium, and they're arranged in a configuration like this. Now, if you look at a battery that comes in an Apple or in certain other batteries, they don't use the cell approach. It's laid out in a layer, if you will. But in this particular device is where it's a battery pack for a battery powered tool of some kind. They do use the battery cell approach, and just wanted to show you things of interest on both sides. You can see the battery cells have been connected, and what they do, if you can look right here, is they put a piece of just regular sheet metal, thin metal on here, and then they tap it with a weld device. Really, they just hit it with a weld device, and that is what they're doing on all of these connections. And the same thing is true on the other side. There you can see a good instance of tap weld right here. They double tapped this one. You see what I'm showing? I'm just trying to show you that these metal pieces on each end were tap welds onto the bottom of the cells. Okay, and that's what's typically done. In this particular case, all the welds look good. They may have missed. Some of them may only have one weld, like this one right here. That's almost to the edge of the plastic, so I'm not sure the weld holds. Or in this kind where I don't know if the weld got it 100%. But none of the metal plates on the outside have been lifted off for any reason, so that's all good. Now, it's kind of interesting to me, and I'll try to hold it here so you can see it properly. At the top here, obviously, and you can see there is a big red wire right here, and also a big black wire there. You can see the red. The red is obviously the plus, the black is obviously the minus side, and they go up to the big pieces of metal on either top of the connector, and this is the top that went on, and it fit down like this. Okay, and the metal on the sides here are the plus and the minus. Okay, well, you also have some other metal like this right here, this tab that sticks out on into the tool itself right there. And you also have down here at the bottom, let's see, right down there you can see a hole, and there is a piece of metal, and it's this piece of metal right there sticking up for the tool to connect to. And what are those? Those are temperature sensors. Lithium batteries can get so hot as to start fires, so that's what all this circuit board on this thing is for, is to watch temperatures. There again, both of these are connected tool to tool. Now on the design of the tool, I'm sure it has this plate, and it just sets against it and would transfer any kind of signal that it might, or maybe it's just totally thermal. This plate heats up this sensor, or it actually gets an electrical signal saying the tool is running too hot. But there are two sensors on here, if you will, that have to do with temperature, so you don't get fires. And that's what I'm trying to show you, is this. You got the battery packs, but you see all of the logic at the top has to do with monitoring the temperature and shutting it down. It may also, I don't see any capacitor or anything like that because it's DC. So it's mainly temperature monitoring. That's what this board is about. But I thought it was interesting because you have the plus and the minus. That obviously is the main point to it, the red wire and the black wire. You can see on the back side, the red and black, plus, minus. But then you also have this plate and this plate, which are attached or go to, or can go to, the actual tool you're plugging this battery pack into. These particular cells, I can't show very well, but they're just sitting in a plastic housing down here. If I were to break off one of the tabs, and I will do that. Let's see if I can get it to come off. Yeah. If you break off one of the tabs, yep, there was a good weld. These particular cells will come out, and it's interesting to me. These are pretty healthy looking size cells. They're not little teeny cells. Okay, so I have gotten this bottom one loose, and it should make it, let's see, did I get it? Nope, haven't got it loose yet. The cells should just pop out. They're just sort of floating in the plastic housing at the bottom, and yep, they're only coming up one way. Here is there. That is the lithium ion cell that came out of the plastic housing that just holds it in place. And that's a nice feature. They didn't necessarily have to make this plastic housing to hold these cells, but they did. They could have just taped them together or whatever they did. It's probably the better construction practice because of the welds on the side, but this is a typical, and it has a number on it which doesn't, you can't just replace one of these. That's part of why I'm opening this up. You say, well, and that's probably what's happened. Either one of these cells has gone bad, or some logic on here is shutting things out. Because of the way it drains, I think one or more of the cells have gone bad, and it's a shame because I have 12 cells, and well, 10 cells. There were 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 cells in this particular pack, and you can see them. Alright, trying to get my fingers out of the way, and then see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 cells. These are pretty good size. I've seen much smaller of these. They make them in various sizes. But this is a pretty good size cell. It's 18 volts, 10 cells. 1.8 volt per cell. It's not marked on here. But anyway, and the configuration, if you paid any attention, they oscillate cells back and forth as to the direction they're inserted in, that is the plus and minus. And they jig them together. They're obviously connected in serial, if you will, to get the 18 volts. You would have to connect 10 to 1.8 volt batteries to get 18 total volts out of all of them. Now, this one does it, I think, kind of in a funny little way, in that you'll see wires coming off this 4-pack over here has this wire to it, this 4-pack has a wire to it, and this 4-pack has a wire to it. It comes up and goes to the board. And those, if you look at the board, those are just connected to the main buses on the board, if you will. They're still tying them all together. But that's just an overview of what the inside looks like. Again, it's still functional in that it shows these LEDs. It shows the charge. It says it's charged. You remember, I pulled out one, and this particular guy still says it has a full charge. I pulled one out, so these last two are not doing anything, and I will, let's see if I can get this off without, okay, that one's now disconnected. Have I managed to, oh, yeah, that was the final connection from the chain of events here, and since I disconnected that one, then it is no longer reading any voltage off of the, here's the second one out, as you can see. And what I did was I broke the chain, so this guy is no longer functioning. Anyway, that's what a power pack looks like. This happens to be for a Ryobi 18 volt. This is what it looks like on the inside. Now, recycle. Yeah, you're supposed to recycle these lithium batteries. They can get so hot and catch fire. So you want to do that. I will probably take the circuit board off the top and just throw away this, recycle this set of batteries at the bottom. That's Uncle Ron and stuff. This is an 18 volt battery pack for Ryobi power tools of all kinds. It is defective. You says it's charged. You plug it in. It runs for 1 minute and then it's dead. I don't know if it's the cells or a temperature sensing logic on this board right here. But either way, it's no longer any good. And the other aspect of it, you can see this is a pretty big honker. They do make various milliamp hour versions of battery packs. The standard Ryobi, the first one they sell, the starter kit, it's like minimal. I mean, you wouldn't be able to run a tool for more than 5 minutes with it or something. But you can get these bigger, more powerful batteries. This is 6 milliamp hours, and it will run power tool for quite some way. And I have several of these bigger ones for that purpose, because I don't want to be changing the battery every 5 minutes and then waiting 20 minutes to charge it back up again. That's enough of this. Is Uncle Ron's stuff, and it says the Ryobi battery pack, what it looks like on the inside. Oh. And its thermal protections, pretty elaborate. These have got a bad rep for catching fires. That's it for today. Today is the 12th of July, 2024. Hope you found something useful out of this. I don't know.